everybody, I am here to read you a nonfiction book. It's a really fun book. And some of you have probably read these maybe. Who Would Win books? Have you ever read any of these or had someone read them to you? This one is Who Would Win? Killer Whale versus Great White Shark. And it has some really good nonfiction text features in it. That's why I thought this would be a good one to read to you. It's by Jerry Pallotta, and it's illustrated by Rob Bolster. So it's going to have some real photographs, and it's also going to have some drawings or illustrations. So who would win? Who do you think would win? Killer whale or great white shark? Tell your foot. Let's read the book, and then we'll see who would win, okay? What would happen if a killer whale met up with a great white shark? What if they had a fight? Who do you think would win? The scientific name of the killer whale is the Orcanis orca. Meet the killer whale, also known as an orca. It is a sea mammal. It breathes air through the blowhole on top of its head. Just like you, killer whales have lungs. They hold their breath underwater. So this is a cool picture of the top of the orca's head, and it's showing it has a label. That's the blowhole, so that's where they breathe out of. And then there's your label. Meet the great white shark. It's a huge fish that can't survive out of the water. Sharks and other fish don't breathe air. Fish get oxygen from water that flows through their gills. Like most sharks, the great white has 5 gill slits. Now here's a great example of a close-up. That's one of the nonfiction text features that you see a lot is a close-up. So these are his gills, so if you look at the shark, but then up close, that's what they look like. You can really see the slits. And then there's a nice little caption over here that talks specifically about this picture. So you get 2 things here, a caption and a close-up. So whales can breathe out of the water. They have to come up to breathe. They have lungs. Sharks can only breathe in the water through their gills. The killer whale has a huge jaw full of about 50 teeth. The teeth can be almost 4 inches long. This is a cool page because there's his mouth with the teeth, and then here's a tooth and it says actual size, which is super cool. So that's actually how big these teeth are. A killer tooth whale looks like this, and then that's on the arrow. So this is just packed with really cool information. Then here's a did you know, which a lot of nonfiction books have. Did you know if the killer whale loses an adult tooth, it doesn't grow back? So once he loses, it's kind of like us. Once we lose a grown-up tooth, it doesn't come back. A great white shark has a gigantic mouth full of several rows of razor-sharp teeth. It's scary just to look at them. So there's the great white shark. Here's the actual size of these teeth. And it says a great white shark tooth looks like this. And then I'll read the did you know. Did you know if a shark loses a tooth, another tooth takes its place? During a shark's life, it can lose more than 3,000 teeth. Wow, so he will, or the shark will, replace lost teeth, whereas the killer whale, nope. Once he loses an adult tooth, no more. Doesn't come back. Okay. The killer whale's dorsal fin, which is the fin on the top, looks like these. On a male killer whale, the dorsal fin can be up to 6 feet tall. Killer whales can be found in all oceans. So here's a side-by-side, which I used in my All About Tornadoes book. So it's a side-by-side, and it's comparing the male dorsal fin, the male is the boy, and the female, which is the girl, dorsal fin. And it even says 3 feet, 6 feet. So it's a really nice comparison. You can see how much taller and even pointier, the male dolphin's dorsal fin is. So that's a side-by-side. Male and female great white sharks have dorsal fins that look the same. Great white sharks are also found in all oceans. So here they're showing you the female dorsal fin of a great white shark and the male, and they look the same. So there again, it's another comparison. You're comparing two things, kind of like the side by side. It's just set up on top of each other, that's all. Killer whales are meat eaters. Their favorite foods are seals and sea lions, but they also eat salmon and other fish. A killer whale was once seen grabbing a moose and a deer off the shoreline. The killer whale is king of the food chain. It has no natural enemies, so things don't naturally hunt killer whales. The ocean is more like a food web than a food chain. In the ocean, everything eats almost everything else. Great white sharks eat fish, but have also been known to eat seals, sea lions, and even sea turtles. Now and then they eat a few people. A great white shark is also high on the food chain. It is the largest predatory fish. So it's the largest fish that hunts other fish. Tiny plankton is eaten by small fish, and small fish get eaten by bigger fish, and bigger fish get eaten by larger fish, and so on. So here we go. So here's the tiny plankton, and this small fish will eat the plankton. This fish is a little bigger, so he'll eat that. This fish is a little bigger, so he'll eat that fish. This one would eat this fish. This one would eat this fish. I think that's a seal. And then the killer whale comes along and eats the seal. And the same thing with the shark. Little plankton, and then smaller fish and bigger fish all the way. So the shark would eat the seal would eat whatever that is. This fish would eat this fish would eat this fish would eat this, and this fish would eat the little tiny plankton. A male killer whale is bigger than a female killer whale. A female is about 4 feet shorter. Killer whales have bones. This is a killer whale skeleton. So here's the skeleton. So that's his bones. And then here, this is kind of a neat thing too. So they're showing how long the female is. What does that say? 19 feet, and the male is 23 feet long. So they're showing you the difference, and they're comparing it to something kids would know, right? You know how big a school bus is, right? He's almost as long as a school bus. Now, I think it was Wiley when he wrote his book about the coconut crab. I'm pretty sure he used a comparison like this. He was talking about how the coconut crab is about the size of a cat, and he drew a picture of the coconut crab, and then next to it he drew a picture of the cat, which is really cool. So he is doing something that he's noticed other authors have done as well. So just wanted to tell you that. The female great white shark is bigger than the male. Females are wider and about 3 feet longer. So that's the opposite of the killer whale. It says here the killer whale is bigger. The male is bigger than the female, but here the female shark is bigger than the male shark. Great white sharks do not have bones. Shark skeletons are made of cartilage. Feel your own ear. It is made of cartilage. So if you feel your ear, do you feel how it's kind of stiff, but you can bend it? That's cartilage. Same thing with the end of your nose. So that's what the shark is made of, not bones. The only thing that's bone is his jaw and his teeth. Other than that, that's it. And it says, look, no bones. Although they are huge, killer whales can jump completely out of the water. In a fight, who do you think would win, a killer whale or a great white shark? And this is a little did you know fact. Did you know killer whales might jump for fun, or to knock some whale lice off their skin, or to catch a fish or seal? So there he is jumping right out of the water. Did you know great white sharks have been seen leaping into the air to catch a seal or a sea lion? Wow, great white sharks can jump completely out of the water too. So look at the facts. Who do you think has an advantage? Who would win? So far they seem very similar. They both can jump out of the water. They eat the same kind of food. They have a lot of teeth. They're big. keep reading. Like other sea mammals, killer whales have a horizontal tail, so their tail goes sideways. Okay. Like that. Did you know killer whales can swim with just their side fins, but their huge tail is used for speed and turning? A horizontal tail is a better design for diving and surfacing fast. So the whale tail goes up and down, so it's flat. It goes up and down like that. Not like fish that kind of goes sideways and their fins are up and down this way. The whale is flat and they flip it through the water. Let's read about the shark. Like other sharks, a great white shark has a vertical tail, so its tail is this way, not flat. Did you know great white sharks and other fish use their tails for speed and steering? So here's two great close-up diagrams, right? This is showing the orca whale, and it has little blue arrows showing it going up and down, and it just shows like the motion of it. And then here, it's showing you that the shark's tail is this way, and it goes this back and forth from side to side. These are all text features that help us as the reader to understand. So these are things you can try in your book. Killer whales have no ears. They bounce sounds off of approaching fish. They use sonar to navigate, to locate other creatures in the ocean, and to find each other. They recognize echoes and other vibrations in the water. This is called echolocation. Did you know submarines also use sonar? But nature had it first, meaning animals could do it, and then humans were able to create the technology to do it in submarines. And bats use sonar too. So that was the did you know fact. Great white sharks have a keen sense of smell. They can also detect the electricity in fish and other animals. They can tell if you are nervous. Did you know sharks can smell blood from 3 miles away? So underwater, a great white shark could sense electricity if that was a human in the water. And they can also sense electricity, in the fish. So this is the shark sensing this fish. Killer whales are family-oriented. They live in groups called pods. Killer whale moms, dads, aunts, uncles, cousins, and kids eat, swim, and play together. They look out for each other. So look, there's a pod of whales. Kind of like us, huh? We have families and we live together. Great white sharks are loners. 2 and 3 have been seen hunting as a team, but mostly they travel, hunt, and eat alone. So if you're a loner, that means you're alone all the time. They don't live in family groups or pods. Killer whales can stop swimming and tread water in one place. They can swim up to 30 miles per hour. In the ocean, that is fast. Did you know killer whales have smooth skin? So this is a neat little thing. So they're showing you that it can tread water in one place. And then when it talked about how it can go 30 miles an hour, it showed a speed limit sign like we would see if we were driving in a car. Great white sharks never stop swimming. Seawater must flow through their gills so they can get oxygen. They cruise along at about 2 miles per hour, but can speed up in bursts to 20 miles per hour. Bonus fact, great white sharks have rough skin. It is like sandpaper. Most fish have scales. Sharks have denticles. Denticles are like little tiny teeth on their skin. So here's a close-up of the denticles on the great white shark skin. So that's what their skin looks like. These are called denticles. There's the word. Denticles. So their skin feels like sandpaper. And the killer whale skin, it said, was very smooth. It looks smooth, doesn't it? And it's funny, you can't tell from looking at the shark that it would be rough. Very cool. Oh, wow, this is cool. The killer whale brain. A killer whale's brain looks similar to a human brain, but is 3 times larger. Killer whales are extremely intelligent, and that means extremely smart. So here's a killer whale brain, and here's a human brain like ours. And boy, do they look alike, huh? Except theirs is bigger than ours, but very similar. I think that's why they're so smart. Great white shark brain. Okay, a great white does not have a round brain. It has different sections connected together. It is shaped like a letter Y. Scientists think every section is connected to a different sense. So this is really cool. This is the great white shark brain. Looks like a flower. Yeah, wow, so look at that. That's our brain and the orca or killer whale brain. And then this is the shark brain. Very different. A killer whale can be captured, live in captivity, and be trained to perform tricks. Killer whales are stars at aquariums and amusement parks. I was in Florida during February vacation, and I got to get up really close to one. It was very, very neat. They're beautiful animals. So that is a trainer at one of those parks they're talking about, and she can train him to do tricks with her. Isn't that neat? I don't think we would do that with a great white shark. Great white sharks have never been able to survive long in captivity. Hollywood loves to make movies about them. Great white sharks are movie stars. So, what would happen if a killer whale and a great white shark met in the ocean? What if they were the same size? What if they were both hungry? What if they had a fight? Uh-oh, they are in the same place at the same time. They sense each other. There is intense competition in nature. They are each planning their attacks. Great white sharks like to attack from below, so underneath. Killer whales like to attack from any side. They are getting closer. What do you think? We're getting to the end of the book. What do you think? Who would win? Then the fight happens. Crunch! The great white shark makes the first move. It tries to attack with its sharp teeth. The killer whale outsmarts the shark and bites it. 1, 2, 3 seconds. The fight is over. It is no contest. The ferocious great white shark doesn't know it hit it. The killer whale has won today. What do you think will happen the next time a killer whale meets a great white shark? Who would win? Do you think the shark can overcome a killer whale's superior intelligence? So there's the shark. After 3 seconds, boom, he swam away. He's like, okay, I know I'm not going to win this one. And the orca whale won. I wonder if that would always happen if they met. And that's the end. So, who had you picked to win? I wonder. You know what would be fun? If you want to go onto Seesaw and just write me a little something saying who you thought would win. And then if you were right or wrong. It doesn't matter, right? The first time I read this, I thought the shark was going to win. So, pretty fun. So remember the different text features that I talked about in here, and you can try them out in your book. I hope you enjoyed this one. Bye.